Well, everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Season 4 of Sex Education. And this show from Netflix focuses on a group of young people, all from varying places in terms of differently abled to queer and everything in between. And at the center of it, you have Otis, played by Asa Butterfield, who is the son of a sex therapist, played by Gillian Anderson, and he is now in this fourth season going off to university. He's at this brand new school, and it is bright, it's colorful, it's all kinds of inclusive, and now he's coming head to head with another student sex therapist, and also 50 other storylines that are happening in this season. And this is the final season to Sex Education. And I feel like it's trying to do too much. Just way too many storylines. And they introduce so many new characters in this season. And to varying degree, I liked some of them. Some of them I found completely unlikable. And I feel like forever, the strength of this show is its inclusion and showing all different kinds of perspectives and experiences, from being asexual to being hearing impaired to being a trans man who's struggling with not being able to go through a transition. All of these and more are tackled in this particular season. And right at the center, Otis. I just feel like Otis acts so petty in this season, and it made it really hard for me to root for Otis because there's so many different ways he could have handled this situation of there being another student sex therapist. It's like more options means more choice and better for people. Duh. But no, they act like petty young kids that are just like, no, this is mine. And then we get a whole season-long campaign to win an election to be the student sex therapist, because that makes any sense. And he has this long-distance relationship with Maeve because she's off in America in Dan Levy's class, trying to become a writer, but is dragged back home because of personal tragedy that adds layers, but also the complications between Otis and Maeve's relationship. And honestly, this season made me not want them to be together. And there's so much tumultuousness but in this relationship. And I feel like this season, a big struggle point was they split up all the main characters so much because Eric doesn't even get to spend a whole lot of time with Otis. Then it's used as a point of you're not being a supportive friend, because Eric now at this very queer positive school is I'm in my element, but he's also struggling to see if he should get baptized at his church, if they're really going to accept him. And you have Jean, his Otis's mom, go through this whole entire arc with her sister who's visiting, her trying to get past so much baggage in terms of being an older single mom at this point and trying to get back into her career and hosting a radio show that's just not working out. And there's so many other threads. Some of the ones that I did like, I do like Amy a lot. I just did not like the fact that they paired her up with Isaac, who I'm still not going to forgive, from a couple seasons ago, voicemail. So, I didn't get super bought into that. I did actually really enjoy the Groff family with, Adam finding his new path, his dad trying to find his new path, and I thought that was actually pretty interesting. You have Jackson, who is trying to deal with health issues, and not only health issues, but also figuring out who his real father is. I think Ruby, I enjoyed the arc that she got on into this season. I feel like expanding upon her character and really giving her a chance to stand on her own outside of Otis was very nice. But then there's so many other characters flying around in this particular season. It's hard to keep track. And a lot of the new characters, some of them are just so... I feel like stereotypical, and specifically like O, I feel like they went out of their way to make O so unlikable. And I never trusted O once, and even by the end where it's like trying to be redemptive, I'm just like, I don't buy it. And I feel like there's a lot of elements with the new characters that kind of fell flat and didn't land how I think they were intending on that landing. But I do think that at least these new characters add new layers and complexities and challenges and themes and ideas that they could add in. But the unfortunate thing is I feel like a lot of them are relegated to just being that and not really getting a chance to have a whole lot of depth. They're just, hey, I'm representative of this group, and now we can have an episode about my problems. But in the end, I would lie if I didn't say I got emotional by the end. And I feel like it leaves a lot of characters in places that they need to be. And I feel like very specifically it could be divisive based off of how you feel about Otis and Maeve and how that all plays out. But in general, this completely changing the setting and adding all these new characters was a big risk, and it only kind of paid off. But in the end, I still found this to be a decently satisfying final season, and it sure got me emotional. But those are my thoughts on Sex Education Season 4. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.